Good Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com providing superior forecasting for the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and you may say to yourself, weather forecasting, and where have we gone? It was a blizzard for some and a complete bust and disappointment for others. In fact, when you consider the millions of dollars spent in the preparation of this storm, both on the city, state, and federal level, its impacts were great. Basically, we're going to go down and break down the storm a little bit and move into the forecast. All the watches, warnings, and advisories for portions of Gloucester, Salem, Cumberland counties, portions of Atlantic County, and Cape May County have all been dropped. We still have gale warnings on the ocean fronts here, and this is until 6 p.m. this evening for northwest winds at 20 to 30 knots, gust up to 40 knots, seas 9 to 14 feet. Also in the back bays of the Delaware here and the Chesapeake Bay, we have gale warnings until 6 p.m. this evening for northwest winds at 20 to 30 knots, gust up to 40 knots, 6 to 11 foot seas on the ocean, and 2 to 6 feet across the Delaware Bay. From Sandy Hook, New Jersey, out to Montauk Point, New York, Long Island, gale warnings until 6 this evening. Northwest winds at 20 to 30 knots, gust up to 45 knots, seas 7 to 12 feet. And of course, we have storm force warnings out here towards Rhode Island and southern New England's coastal waters. For the north shore of Long Island, the south shores of Connecticut, we have a storm warning until noon today. North winds at 25 to 35 knots, gust up to 50 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet. What's left of our watches, warnings, and advisories, we still have quite a few of them. If you live in and around the New York City metropolitan area down on Long Island, we have a winter weather advisory and a coastal flood statement. And the National Weather Service has issued this for northeastern New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley, New York City, and Nassau. Now they've been downgraded. First we were in a blizzard warning, then we were in a storm warning, and now we're just in a winter weather advisory. And this is for snow and blowing snow, additional accumulations of 1 to 2 inches, northwest winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour, gust up to 35 miles an hour, and the temperatures will remain in the lower 20s. For northeastern New Jersey, we just went over that, and this is for the lower Hudson Valley, New York City, and northeastern New Jersey as well, as now winter weather advisory. For northwestern New Jersey, we have a winter storm warning, which is in effect until 3 p.m. this afternoon. This may probably be downgraded too. Storm totals of 4 to 8 inches, which is pretty much just about where they've got them across the region, most of which has already occurred. And we have north winds at 10 to 20 miles an hour, gust up to 25 miles an hour during today. Scattered light snow around the region. Southeastern Pennsylvania and Philadelphia included, we have a winter weather advisory until noon today. Total snow of 3 to 5 inches across this region much of this has already occurred. And the winds will be out of the north at 10 to 15 miles an hour, gust up to 25 miles an hour. Across the Hudson Valley in New York, we have winter weather advisories until 6 this evening, and that's for northeastern New Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley, New York City, and Nassau. Again, 1 to 2 inches of additional snow. And this storm is definitely going to be remembered, not because it wasn't a blizzard, because it was by standards of blizzard definitions across eastern Long Island and also interior Connecticut and Massachusetts. But with the blizzard warnings being dropped to storm warnings and then eventually down to advisories, everyone in northwestern New Jersey, west of the Hudson River Valley here, will probably remember this as being a large and fantastic bust on the National Weather Service's account, and all meteorologists, including myself. This morning, we have the cloud shield across the region, and we have the water vapor channel, which yesterday and earlier today too was showing the pivoting of moisture across and over Connecticut down through the Hudson River Valley just into New York City, and then also to points just along the turnpike here. Everybody from the turnpike east was receiving some snow. Monmouth had more snow today than anybody else did in northwestern New Jersey, except portions of Bergen County and Passaic County. Everybody else to the southwest of that pretty much wake us up this morning and tweets or text or whatever social media on Facebook that you're using, and really just has some strong words for this forecast, which was not so pleasant at all. Meanwhile, the schools are closed as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. When we look at the latest radar data, we can see the storm shield here. The low pressure system is off the New Jersey coast right now. It continues to deepen, and it continues to pinwheel these bands of snow, which earlier and last night, early this morning, were over interior Connecticut through New York City. The bands, which I'm going to show you on Doppler radar, as they were approaching the coastal waters, began to fade out. So only the immediate coastal sections of New Jersey, Monmouth, and Ocean counties in New Jersey, parts of interior northeastern New Jersey's metropolitan area received some additional snow and blowing snow this morning. But as these bands propagated westbound, they dissipated as new bands began to form on the northwest side of this closing low, which is a full calm ahead at this point. And now over New England, this is where the heavier interior areas of New England are receiving 15 to 20, 25 inches of snow as a result of snow coming in at the rate of 1, 2, 3 inches per hour. Another review of the mosaic here shows the bands here across southern New England all the way down now. Here's another band coming in from Connecticut's shore, interior Connecticut through Long Island. But notice these bands, they continue to weaken as they propagate west, southwest through New Jersey. So there's just a light spotty snow, not really accumulating much, but just, floating about in the air. Taking a look back at the radar mosaic here, we had front-end snow yesterday, and here comes our storm system. Here's a couple of those plumes of snow, if you will, the back edges of the snow, and obviously they've weakened considerably as they made their way inland, just promoting light snow. And every time one of these bands of snow formed across interior Connecticut and New York City, where it snowed quite heavily, basically what happened is the snow bands continued to do this, and as a result, they weakened as they moved towards the coast, and little snow continued over the interior. Here's a large-scale view of the water vapor channel showing the low tucked in across the coastal water south of New England this morning, and as a result of this forming too far to the east with the 500 millibar center. If this were probably over the Delmarva when it closed off rather than south of Long Island, the whole system probably would have tucked in closer to the coast. Morning surface chart from Weather Roanoke and Digital Atmosphere Software shows exactly what we're talking about here. Here's the occluded front on the northwest side with the bands of snow from southern New England down to just west or east of New York City. And right now the center of low pressure is well off into the Atlantic as the whole system is now completely stacked and begrudgingly moving rapidly, or slowly actually, to the north and east. Meanwhile, we still have a trough access here out to the west, and some snow shower activity and light snow will continue throughout today, on and off until this evening when this begins to pull away and all of this moisture shield lifts to the north and east. The temperatures will continue to be cold and the clouds will continue to win out for the day. And the normal Mesonet snow analysis map that we would always be posting is not available as it has not been updated since last night. We'll do a visual view here from Google Mapping, and Weather Underground's mapping here shows the heaviest snow approaching, let's say, 20-25 inches of snow from Marlborough all the way down to New London. That extended into portions of eastern Long Island. Then you got through New Haven and Hartford and Middletown and Bridgeport and Fairfield all the way to Levittown and Hempstead and Bayshore. That's where, again, anywhere from 15 to 20 inches of snow has fallen, and then it precipitably got lighter as you headed towards the Hudson River Valley here across the bridges and the tunnels west of New York City. Everything just started petering out around Newark and Clifton and White Plains, and as you got into interior New Jersey around Morristown and even further west into West Milford, amounts were just a couple of inches. So very sharp cutoff to the snow banding indeed. And for the aviational weather deck, wraparound snow from the coastal storm continues to expand to the south and west across the area early this morning. The terminals are located on the western periphery of this, with lift and weather is weaker rather, and snow is lighter. And a highlighted 3 to 4 inch hour tempo group early this morning for IFR visibilities at Trenton, Philadelphia, North Philadelphia, Atlantic City, MVFR further south and west. This shield of snow may linger over the terminals through about early this afternoon, but visibility should gradually improve after about 15Z this morning, which is just about now, as the intensity of the snow tapers off. Now, the north to northwest winds of 15 to 20 knots will gust up to 25 knots today. Blowing snow may reduce visibilities local at the terminals, but was not as pessimistic with the visibility since there is only a fraction of snow on the ground as previously anticipated. VFR late this afternoon and tonight. Winds relax a bit overnight too. Wednesday and Wednesday night primarily VFR. Northwest winds 10 to 15 gusts in the day, becoming calm at night. Thursday into Friday morning, VFR to much of Thursday. Light snow will likely spread into the area again from the west and east on Thursday night, but may reach Allentown and Reading by late afternoon. And VFR to IFR restrictions possible with the snow. Highest confidence in the northern terminals. Friday afternoon, VFR, blustery northwest winds gusting to 30 knots. That's when an Arctic front's coming through, and you'll feel it. Friday night, VFR, gusty northwest winds, and Saturday, VFR conditions continue. Let's take a look at some of the observations here on Long Island. At the Gabreski Airport, 22 degrees, and we have winds out of the northwest of 23, gusts to 36 miles an hour, makes the wind chill feel like 6. And if we move out to Islip, we have moderate snow continuing in one of the snow bands out there. 21 degrees, 18 degrees Fahrenheit is the humidity, is the dew point rather. Humidity 88%. Moderate snow. Wind chill makes it feel like 5. So we have strong blowing snow in this region and snow coming down. Farmingdale, Long Island has ice fog and gusty northwesterly winds at about 26 miles an hour. Temperature of 20 degrees. Getting closer to the terminals here in New York City at JFK, we have moderate snow and blowing snow. Again, one of the snow bands moving through. Temperature 23, dew point 18. Moderate snow, blowing snow makes the wind chill feel like 1. Blowing snow and snow showers throughout the afternoon until clearing during tonight. Back into New Jersey, we have IFR conditions. We have IFR conditions right now at Newark International. It's 22, dew point 18, humidity 84%, wind is northwest of 22, gust to 26, visibility 1 mile in light snow, wind chill makes it feel like 6. These conditions will all gradually improve slowly throughout the day. Right now at Philadelphia is not looking too good either. 27, dew point 21, humidity 78%. The wind is northwest at 13. Winds are lighter at the further west and south you go. Light snow, wind chill 16. Overcast conditions, broken ceilings late this afternoon, and a few clouds left over tonight with the winds coming down from the gust into the 20s early this afternoon. Right now, we still have 4,672 flights canceled, and 336 of those are still delayed nationally. All the airports appear to be open this morning. However, there's probably restrictions, delays, and closures to flights in any one of these airports across the entire northeastern corridor here, so you want to check with your carriers before departing to the airport. And as far as restrictions and bans on roads, bridges, and tunnels, there's a lot of changes going on in the New York City Metro system and probably the New Jersey Transit system as well. You're just going to have to check in with those because we don't have enough time on the video to cover all of that. Due to time restraints on the video extensions here, we're just going to move into the forecast from the GFS, and you're probably saying to yourself, well, if this forecast was a bust, how can we trust anything coming in the future? Well, you have to believe that the storm did happen. It just didn't happen correctly, if you wanted to call it that, and it probably didn't happen correctly for you. So there's a lot of people that are upset, but you know, we apologize, but we just forecast the weather. We're not the physics of the atmosphere. Here's our deep storm system, our blizzard moving out the coastal waters early this morning, and as it does, it continues to fill, and as it does fill, it continues to weaken. Notice the pressures begin to rise and the snow gets out of here, and we start to break into a clearer sky with high pressure building in, but it's a cold atmosphere nonetheless for your Wednesday night, and Thursday. Here comes the next clipper across the region. This one could be crossing the region with some light snow, especially late Thursday night and Friday morning. Probably of very little consequence, but there could be a dusting or a coating of snow on the ground. That moves out, and then more high pressure builds into the forecast region, but it's a cold Arctic air mass. Notice these thicknesses here at 522, some very, very cold air. The coldest of the season, actually, is definitely coming this Friday and Saturday and Sunday across the region. Then we begin to warm up the thicknesses a little bit, get more isentropic lift. Here comes another system in the southern branch across the Tennessee River Valley, and we continue with an active pattern, breaking out with snow once again. This could be occurring on Monday, and then changing to rain across the southern sections here, and then all rain across the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area with the change over to sleet or freezing rain, and then that slides through, and then just more cold air building in behind it once again. So an active pattern is on the way nonetheless, but just not one that still is conducive to big winter storms. Now, we had our chance today, and we blew it. And here's another storm system with more cold air damming coming in for the first week on that Thursday of February, if this holds true. This, again, is another sudden slider with cold air at the top, and then it looks like the storm, again, wants to pull one of those fast ones where it gets to near the benchmark, and moderate to heavy snow bands develop across New Jersey, Connecticut, the Hudson River Valley, and interior New Jersey. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, because this is what we saw a couple of days ago with this particular situation for today, so we're not going to get much beyond that, because this likely will change as well. Well, I guess you can take this day and pretty much just clean off the car, maybe do some stuff outside with the kids because there's probably no school in a lot of areas. And well, that's it. Just stay warm and safe. And I don't know whether the restrictions are going to be lifted and when they're going to be lifted to get back on the roads, but do be careful if you're traveling outside during today. We'll be back with the detailed video forecast discussion for your Wednesday tomorrow morning. For everything live, it's Garden State Weather, gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Sorry, guys, about the bus, but we did our best.